All right, let's jump right into Richard Osman's fourth book in the Thursday Murder Club series, The Last Devil to Die. We are going to break down the entire setup for you, and don't worry, this is 100% spoiler-free. I don't think you could find a better way to describe this series. The great crime writer Val McDermid just hits the nail on the head with this one. It's that perfect mix of comedy and genuine suspense that, let's be honest, is why we all love these books so much. So, where does this new story kick off? Well, picture this. The Christmas holidays have just ended. It's that quiet, sleepy time of year. But this is no silent night. It's a deadly one. And this is where the tension really starts to build. We meet an antiques dealer named Kuldesh Sharma. He's almost 80, and he's heading out on a cold December night for a meeting he absolutely knows is a bad idea. And that terrible risk he takes, it ends with a single, fatal gunshot. Okay, so we've got a body. Who's going to solve the case? Well, it's definitely not going to be your typical run-of-the-mill detectives. Nope. For that, we've got to head over to the Cooper's Chase Retirement Village and meet the gang. And here they are, our fantastic four. You've got Elizabeth, the ex-spy, who's the undisputed leader of the pack. Then there's Joyce, the former nurse, whose diary catches every little detail everyone else seems to miss. We've got Ibrahim, the brilliant and precise psychiatrist, and of course, Ron, the loud and proud former union boss. They might seem like an unlikely crew, but together, they are absolutely unstoppable. And that's really their whole motto, isn't it? Their methods are, well, let's just call them creative. They'll charm their way onto a crime scene, grill a witness over a scone, and basically run rings around the actual police, all without breaking a sweat. So the huge question is, why was Kuldesh killed? The club figures out pretty quickly that this wasn't just some random robbery. Oh no, this is about something way bigger and a whole lot more dangerous. Because this whole thing centers on a box, a very specific box that was delivered to Kuldesh's antique shop, and inside, heroin. Enough to be worth 100,000 pounds on the street. And the second Kuldesh is dead, poof, the box is gone. Now, every good story needs some villains, right? On one side, we have Mitch Maxwell. He's the crime boss, and he is seriously starting to panic as his whole plan goes south. Then you've got his number two, Dom Holt, the guy who actually dropped off that deadly package at the antique shop in the first place. So now we've got a murder, 100 grand in missing drugs, and things are about to get complicated because we have two very different teams trying to figure this all out at the same time. And this is that classic dynamic we love. You've got the pros, the poor, long-suffering DCI Chris Hudson and PC Donna DeFreitas, who are trying their best to do things by the book. And then you have our heroes, for whom the rules are, let's call them suggestions. And somehow they're always a step or two ahead. Okay, but here's the thing. What makes this book so special, what takes it beyond just being a really clever mystery, is its incredible emotional core. This case isn't just about a crime. Because while all of this is going on, the murder investigation, the hunt for the drugs, Elizabeth, the club's unflappable, unshakable leader, is facing a battle at home that is just completely heartbreaking. And some of the most moving parts of the whole book come from Elizabeth's husband, Stephen. A year before our story starts, during a moment of pure clarity, he wrote this letter to the man he knew he would become, as his dementia was just beginning. It is just devastatingly beautiful and so sad. And this whole subplot, it grounds everything in such a powerful reality. It's a reminder of what's really at stake. They're not just fighting for justice for a stranger. They're fighting for each other, for their memories, and for finding dignity when things seem impossible. So, with the stakes this high, professionally, and more importantly, personally, where do we stand? While we're left with this massive, tangled web, who actually shot Kuldesh? Where on earth is that box of heroin? And as more bodies start to pile up, who's pulling the strings? You've got to wonder if the club can possibly solve this case while dealing with their own personal tragedy. And that brings us right back to the title, doesn't it? The question isn't just about figuring out who the killer is. It's about something deeper. It's about the final, personal devils that every single one of our characters has to face. What a brilliant, brilliant setup for another incredible story.